What's going on, guys? I know I'm really late on this one, but I was away all weekend. Still want to talk about this trade. If you guys somehow have not heard, Edmonton traded Milan Lucic to the Calgary Flames for James Neal. Also, Edmonton's retaining 12.5% of Lucic's contract, and there's a conditional third-round pick involved where Neal has to score 21 goals, and Lucic has to have more than 10 less goals than Neal. So if Neal gets 21, Lucic has to have no more than 10 for Calgary to get that third-round pick. So pretty interesting trade. I think this might be the first time ever. You guys will see here in a second. Two teams trade their lowest value player. As you can see for Edmonton, obviously it's Milan Lucic. Behind him there, Brandon Manning. I just thought that was kind of interesting. So Lucic here in game, 30 years old, 79 overall, top 9 for potential, making $6 million for the next 5 years. Obviously, kind of last 2 years haven't been great for him. Actually, 3 years ago though, he did have 50 points, which I didn't realize. But there's a quick look at his stats. Second round pick in 2006. Again, there the contract. So I'll show you guys all the stats. Like I was saying, 16-17 actually not a bad year. The last 2 years in Edmonton have just been worse and worse. So obviously they want to get rid of that contract. He's playing like third line at best for Edmonton. They want someone faster, someone that can score, playing with McDavid. Now Neal's not faster than Lucic, maybe like slightly, but he's definitely more of a scorer. So the trade for sure makes sense from Edmonton's perspective. Also, too, Lucic actually had to waive his no-trade clause in order for this to happen. And apparently Calgary is going to still uphold that no-trade clause. So if Calgary decides they want to trade Lucic, just like Edmonton, they're going to have to ask him for permission to waive. And I really don't see it being much of a factor in terms of trades, but when the expansion draft happens with Seattle, if Lucic says, I don't want to go to Seattle, you got to protect me, they're going to be losing someone most likely of more value in order to protect Lucic. That's where I think it really hurts Calgary. Also, too, I just think Neal's a better player. Now, as you can see, just like on Calgary, Neal's their lowest value player, which is actually kind of crazy. But I guess that's just a good thing for Calgary, not too many bad contracts. So Neal here is a year older, 31 years old, same rating, 79 overall, same potential. Calgary actually has Neal on the block, making $250K less than Lucic. Same duration though. Thing is though, his contract, because of how it's structured, first off, he doesn't have a no-trade clause, so Edmonton could trade him. Also, he can be bought out, where the way Lucic's contract works, I'll show you guys on screen here. They save like a couple million the first year, then like nothing the second year. The third year, it's like 1.5 or whatever. Then again, nothing the fourth year. And the 4 years after that, it doesn't really matter. Real Neal's contract, they actually save $4 million the first 4 years, like a normal buyout. And then the 4 years after that, it's $2 million. So that's how most buyouts work. Also, too, I realized something with Lucic's contract. He has it in there. I'm not sure what you call it, but basically he's not allowed to be sent down. So if he's playing really bad, you either scratch him or you just still play him. Whereas Neal, he's not playing well, you can send him down to AHL. Hopefully, get him rejuvenated. Even just send him down to the AHL to save $1 million in cap space. A lot more flexibility with James Neal. So also considered a third-line scorer here. Another second-round pick there, 33rd overall, back in 05 with the Dallas Stars. You can see he's 79 overall, but still his shot there, even in game, like they know he's still a shooter. You can see 90 power for slap shot, 89 accuracy, or 89, sorry, wrist shot power, 85 for the accuracy. Speed there, 85, balance 88, decent hands. Let's see, at 5.7. I want to actually show you guys one more thing here, his stats. So James Neal, until this year, has never not scored 20 goals, which is why I think there's a much better chance of Neal bouncing back to the former player he was than Lucic. Also, it's like one bad year where Lucic has had 2 now. So I don't know, like look at this, guys. It's pretty insane. Even the 1 year, 2012, 2013, 40 games played, still had 21 goals. Like, that's pretty impressive. So playing with McDavid or Draisaitl, even Nuge, I don't know how he doesn't score 20 goals. Like, it should happen. I actually found out, too, he actually trains with Connor McDavid. So I feel like there's a good chance of that. On top of that, this year not only did he not score 20, he had a crazy low shooting percentage. It was around 5%, whereas every other year it's 10 plus. So half or even less than half shooting percentage. He should bounce back on that. So we'll try first Lucic with 750K retained for James Neal. If they stay no, add the conditional third-round pick. This is on medium difficulty, I believe. We'll see what Calgary says here. Trades rejected. Consult our trade block. I mean, Neal is on the trade block, so it's a 2020 conditional third-rounder. We'll see if we can add this. If maybe they say yes. Like, he's on the block. I'm not really sure. Like, in terms of the value, it looks to be the same, but clearly Neal's is a bit higher. So with the third, what do the Flames say here? Trade still rejected. Ultimately, yeah, they don't want to take on Lucic's contract. They're basically saying it's fair, apart from the fact Lucic's contract's terrible. Even though they're actually saving a bit of money here, just like in real life, they're still saying no. And honestly, looking at it from a Calgary's perspective, I don't get it. I think they'd be much better just keeping Neal, but apparently it just didn't really fit in Calgary, and it kind of shows here. I think everyone agrees Edmonton's winning this trade, so Calgary probably even knows they're losing this trade, but that's how much they wanted to move on from Neal and trade him away. So not sure why it didn't work out there, but obviously always smart of that team. In Edmonton's case, Edmonton Oilers taking advantage of that. Team wanting to get rid of a player. Hopefully, you know, both players can bounce back, but I feel like much better shot of it happening for Neal. Now, next year, we're going to try to trade from Calgary's perspective. I feel like Edmonton probably says yes. And actually, guys, before I show you Calgary's perspective, I want to first show you what the Oilers forward group might look like next year. And to do this, obviously, I have to force the trade through. So I was trying to just make it happen. So I added a couple first-round picks. Calgary still says no to that, which is insane. So it kind of shows you just how bad of a fleece this game thinks it was. 3 first-round picks should get it done. Like, Neal's not that much better of a player. Look at that. 3 first-round picks. They're still saying no. So I might have to retain like 50% here on Lucic to make sure this trade goes through. We'll try, though. 4 first-round picks, 150K. Trades rejected. Like, that is insane. So I'm just kind of curious now what it's going to cost us to actually trade Lucic for Neal in-game. Again, medium difficulty is not like that crazy. I play all my franchises. Every cup or bust, all my videos are always on hard. Edmonton be over the lax. Okay, so we can't quite retain 50%. Let's try the lowest we can go, I guess. What's that? 37. Okay. They better say yes to this. Oh my god, that's insane. So after that trade, guys, here's what the Oilers lineup could look like next season. I actually ended up having to just trade straight picks for Neal and then bury Lucic because the trade would not work. So Draisaitl, McDavid, Cassian there on the first line. I really feel like they need to get a better first line winger than Cassian. I like play for the Spitfires, but I feel like they could just find maybe a younger player like a Tyler Benson, play on that first line, potentially do better. Second line there, Neal, Nugent, Hopkins, Chason. Maybe Neal goes on the first line. I don't know. This could be a second line, though. Gagne, Granlund, Puljujarvi there on the third line. Hopefully, Puljujarvi signs, gets traded for somebody, and he's not just like a wasted player. Fourth line here, we have Yurko, Kara, and Cave. So they actually signed a couple guys from Europe. I know Joakim Nygard's one. I think Haas is the other. So those 2 guys will probably like take place for Cave and Yurko, placed somewhere in the bottom 6. But again, there's the forward group. It looks a bit better than that last year, but still not great. Like, obviously, Draisaitl, McDavid, Nuge are great players, but after that, you need like a bit more help. I saw something on Twitter where basically like they went through the Oilers lineup and gave every player kind of like first, second, third, or fourth line role, and they have no second line. Draisaitl, McDavid, Nuge are all considered first line players, and then the rest are all considered bottom 6. So defense here, Klefbom, Larson still the top pair. I've got Jones in the second pair. We're playing with Nurse. I feel like it'll either be Jones, Bouchard, or Bear. Filling that 6th spot, and then on the bottom pair we have Russell and Benning, so not too bad. Goalies, obviously, if Smith can play decent, Koskinen can play a bit better. Goaltending's not too bad. Scratch, like I said, I think Tyler Benson has a really good shot to make the team this year. As I said, they don't have any second-line players. He was like a point per game in the AHL, so I feel like this is definitely a great opportunity for him. I think he's a pretty good player. He was the first pick, I think, in the second round of the 2015 draft, so it's about the time now you make the NHL. If you're not making it this year, you're probably not making it, so we'll kind of see what he has at the camp and whether or not he makes the team. Also, you're going to show you guys what James Neal looks like as an Edmonton Oiler. So right there, James Neal, that game face isn't too bad. I feel, again, like James Neal, 20 goals every single year of his career till last season. Hopefully, if, for Oilers fans' sake, somehow bounces back. And like I was saying, guys, we're going to try to trade from Calgary's perspective. As you can see, Edmonton does have Lucic on the block, just like the Flames and Neal on the block. So we're going to ask for the 3rd round pick first. If they say no, we'll then just try this trade 1-for-1. Almost forgot to ask for the 750K salary there. So we'll see what Edmonton says. Trades rejected. Okay, so we'll try just asking for the 3rd. Trade rejected. Alright, we'll take out the 750K. So far, I don't know why Edmonton would do this trade, but whatever. We'll try just 1-for-1. It says that we may change the salaries, but still, Edmonton's not interested in the trade. So even though both computers rejecting the trade suggests it's a fair deal, like I already mentioned, I feel like Edmonton 100% fleeced Calgary here. So definitely the computer Edmonton GM is messing up. And look at this, guys. Just like before when Calgary wouldn't trade us Neal, even with 4 first-round picks, same thing's happening here with Edmonton. Like, look at that, 4 first. Now, this is supposed to be fixed in 20. Thank God. So as a trade, here's my best guess of the Flames lines. Top 6 there, I think, the exact same as last year. 3rd line, though, is Mangiapane. I know I always mess his name up. Jankowski and Bennett, assuming they bring Bennett back, currently in RFA still. 4th line there, you got Cernak, Ryan, and Lucic. I really don't see Lucic breaking out of the bottom 6. Maybe he's 3rd liner, but definitely no higher than that. Defense there, I think their top 6 pretty much stays intact. And obviously goalies now, it looks like it's going to be Riddick and Talbot as a tandem. Kind of funny how like the Flames and Oilers traded worse contracts for each other. Then they also, before that, not actually traded, but signed each other's former starting goaltender. Just kind of interesting, I guess. Maybe the Battle of Alberta will be back on. Obviously, both have to be Edmonton, I guess, because Calgary was good last year. Both have to be good, otherwise it doesn't really matter as much. So, show you guys here what James Neal, or sorry, Milan Lucic looks like as a Calgary Flame. I feel like it might look a little bit weird. Here we go. What's this gonna look like? Yeah, it looks a little weird, I'm not gonna lie. Milan Lucic there as a Calgary Flame. So, definitely, curious to see what happens. I love all the action that was going on this summer. Tons of players trading places. It just makes the NHL a lot more fun, in my opinion. And as always, guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this trade in the comments section. Which team do you think won, Edmonton or Calgary? If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. And besides that, guys, thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.